By 6 or less for Vechta, it's a tougher task. They must win by 7 or more here this evening if they're going to come away with the win. On top of that, they also need to hope that Banderma beat Polak Ortez. So everything is set for an absolute barnstormer here this evening. Here is the schedule in Group B. As you can see, Antwerp taking on Jerusalem. Our game here between Burgos and Vechta. We've also got Ike versus Volfovets and Banderma versus Polak Ortez. As you can see, all 4 games tipping off at the same time. No team has the advantage here. Really entering the business end of the season now. Group C and D, they were concluded last night. Group A and B, well, they'll be finalised here this evening. Before we take a short break, before the Basketball Champions League playoffs start in earnest, here's the Group B standings as they are at the moment. As you can see, Jerusalem finished top. Burgos have a chance, actually, of finishing in 2nd or 3rd, as do Ike. And it's down to Banderma, Burgos and Vechta, who picks up those final 2 spots. Shortly, the players will be introduced to the crowd, which is starting to grow here in the arena. It's been some wonderful nights of basketball here throughout this season. And you have a feeling tonight may be the best of the lot. Here is the roster for Vechta. Backcourt duo of Young and Simpson is going to be huge. Obviously, Jordan Davis as well. The 22-year-old had an absolutely massive game in the reverse of this fixture. Scored 35 points. Joint highest score of any player in the Basketball Champions League this season. Imagine he'll have a big impact as well. As for the home team, well, they secured the 6-point win in the reverse of this fixture back in game day 7. As such, you'd potentially put them maybe just as slight favourites here this evening. Veteran Italian guard Vitor Benite has been putting in some big performances, averaging over 13 points a game. Alongside him in the backcourt, though, Thaddeus McFadden. And that really is quite a formidable backcourt pairing. The one thing I would say is, though, don't write off how important big man Earl Clark may be to Burgos here this evening. As the Basketball Champions League music plays out, players are just getting ready now, really getting their minds fully focused on the game in front of them. And what a huge game this is. Probably biggest game of their season so far. For some of these players, it'll be the biggest game of their career so far. Vechta being introduced now. They're not really known for their defensive prowess. However, weirdly, it might be their defense that's the key tonight. Can they lock down those big offensive threats of Burgos? And a huge part of that might be the defensive rebounding. You know, they currently have the lowest number of defensive rebounds in the entire Basketball Champions League, just 295 in the 13 games they've played. And if they give Burgos too many chances on that second chance, well, it could be a very long night for our visitors. For the home team, though, they have been impressive at home, and they'll be hoping to continue that this evening. They've only lost 1 game here in their home arena out of the 6 games they've played so far. And in all 5 of those wins, they scored north of 90 points. They'll be hoping to do the same again, put a show on for the fans, close out the regular season in style. And their offense has been impressive, and you kind of wonder, is that due to some of the best perimeter shooting in the Basketball Champions League? They have 2 of the 4 players in the Basketball Champions League who are shooting over 50%. And Fittipaldo and Bassos. There's Benite coming out. He's going to play a big part this evening. You would have Burgos as slight favourites in this game. They're at home. The pressure's slightly less on them. They can even afford to lose the game as long as it's by 6 or less. Obviously, they're not going to want to. They're going out to win, that's for sure. They still have second place in mind. Because the other thing we have to bear in mind as well is, as much as it's about reaching the playoffs, it's about getting the highest finish you possibly can in the playoffs. If you finish top of your group like Jerusalem have in this group, they'll face a 4th place team from another group. Second place will face a 3rd place team, and so on. So really, you want to get a good start to your playoffs by getting a good finish in the regular season. The players exchange some gifts on the half court as they get into their final preparations, and physically they should be ready to go. It's all psychological now. Here are our 3 officials for this evening: and Sergei Zashchuk, Sasha Miricic, and Petr Hrusha from Ukraine, Serbia, and the Czech Republic, respectively. They'll be making sure things are above board and ready to go for both these teams. As you can see, the crowd is filling up nicely, and they're all joining in a traditional song here in Burgos. Scarves being held high. And that's one thing you certainly can't question. You do wonder, is that a big part of why they've won so many games at home this season? This crowd are phenomenal. The noise they make, the support that they bring week in, week out, certainly will have spurred the home team on. And you wonder how many points is that actually worth in a game. Here's the starting 5 for Vechta. De Leo, Kessens, Simpson, Wainwright, and Vesturia are their starting 5. Simpson probably the one to watch, averaging just under 15 points a game. And head coach KS has been with the club 5 years now. Making it to the Basketball Champions League playoffs will certainly be one of the highlights of those 5 years, if he can do it here today. Have a look now at the home team starting 5 as well for Burgos. Here it is: Earl Clark, Vitor Benite, Thaddeus McFadden, Fernand Bassas, and Augusto Lima are the starting 5. So much talent and experience in that team as well. There's no real surprise that they've won a huge amount of their games here in the Basketball Champions League this season, and that man has been the mastermind. Coach Penioya will know that really the playoff place is in their hands. Their fate is down to them now, and it's almost a horrible situation to a certain degree. It's down to them to throw away. If they perform near their potential, they will make it through to the playoffs. If they have a bad night at the office, things could go sour pretty quickly for the home team. Just moments now away from the opening tip-off here. Coach is getting final instructions across to the players on what is a huge, huge night. And part of this evening's outcome is likely to be determined by which players deal with the pressure, which don't. You know, some players, amplifies their abilities, amplifies their performance when pressure is put upon them. And other players, he makes them shrink the spotlight, makes them just disappear into the shadows. And maybe it's down to which players love the limelight, love the pressure, and which don't, will affect who comes away with the win in the playoff place. What a wonderful atmosphere we have here, though. You don't ask for better environments than this to play European basketball in. You won't find a player on the planet that wouldn't want to play as their home ground, their home stadium, that's for sure. Final instructions now from Coach Penyaroya. And before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, I'm sure you have, but get on your phones, download the official Basketball Champions League app, completely free, available on iOS and Android. Bring you all the latest stats, all the news, views, and everything going on in the Basketball Champions League. Jump onto it, get it downloaded now. Keep the box score in your hand through the game, always adds to the enjoyment when you get into some of the stats. Maybe that's just me. Just moments away from the start, and the stands are looking nearly full now. Kessen's there. Got a big game back in game day 2 against Paula Cortez. 10.7 rebounds. His second season with Vechta. And we're underway here. Final game day of the regular season in the Basketball Champions League, and absolutely everything on the line for these two teams. Burgos against Vechta. Both teams needing to take the win. Playoff places at stake. Ball into the corner. Shot is off track from Clark to start the game. Rebound brought in by Simpson. DeLeo now. Patience here offensively from Vechta. Kessen's nice pass. And the first score is going to fall to Vesturia. That'll settle some Vechta nerves. McFadden now. Back to Bassas. Into the corner, Clark for another 3. Almost a complete repeat, but look at Lima battling down low for the rebound. McFadden for 3. Interesting to see Burgos straight away go to the perimeter, looking to open up Vechta from range. First 3 shots have all been from outside. Goes inside, nothing there though for Kessen's this time. Bit of a nervy start for both these teams. Showing patience, but not really getting the opportunities they'd want. Benite now skips it to McFadden. McFadden waving the player away, wants him to set in the post, and Clark does. He's got the mismatch, but he's got doubled now, and it's going to be stolen away by Simpson. And Clark hasn't looked impressive in the opening goings here. DeLeo looking for a pass away and does. Shot clock down to 10. Shot goes up from Simpson and is good. Vechta. Sorry, not good, misses, and Vechta looking the more comfortable of the two in the opening exchanges. Benite now. Oh, and his shot's good, and that's exactly what the home team needed. They need every ounce of his experience. The Italian has been all over the highlight reels this season for Burgos. Asteria now. Passes inside. Kessens goes up strong. Can't quite hold on to it, but an offensive rebound is there for Wainwright. Into the corner now. Tough shot, but he gets it to go. Vechta looking good as Simpson hits that corner 3. Six points so far for Simpson. 100% from outside. McFadden, nothing but the bottom of the net for him. And as I said, in the build-up, McFadden and Benite are a formidable backcourt combo. Kessen's now looking to go to work. Comes back out to DeLeo. 3 from Vesturia. Wow, the whip of the net as it goes through. Both these teams warming up nicely from the perimeter in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Foul's going to be called. That one on Mikael Kessens. As Lima was working hard to establish himself in the low post. Kessens going to head to the bench. In comes Raffington. Watch him working hard. Yeah, he's got the left arm of Lima locked up with his hands. It's a good call by the officials. Clark now comes back out to Bassas. Benite couldn't quite control it, wanted to take the three, you could see he did. Pass inside, Lima is stolen away. Well read by Wainwright. Asturia goes to the basket, no joy. Foul, I think, is going to be called an offensive foul. I think that's on Raffington. He's come straight into the game and he's trying to impose himself maybe a little bit too much. Let's have a look. Yeah, just a push in the back of Benite. Here's the corner three, though. Off balance, fading away. That doesn't matter if you're Simpson, and McFadden just returned the favour almost instantly. Benite off left, but the rebound falls to McFadden. And that's the problem you have. If teams are going to shoot the long three, the rebound is tougher to seal out if you're the defensive team. Clark has it stolen away, and he's in a bit of a nightmare of a start to the game, Hazel Clark. Three is no good. Simpson puts the brick up. He's looking for a foul call. He said Benite called him on the way through. Nothing from the officials, though. Bassas now skips to the corner, almost stolen away. Benite catches and is fouled. Basket's going to be given as Benite floats along the baseline, draws the foul from Magdaleo. He's going to head to the line to see if he can convert the three-point play. Benite already up to 5 points. Steps inside, draws the foul and keeps his composure. .88% free throw shooter, Vitor Benite. Second season with Burgos. Connects. Brings Burgos to within 2 of Vechta. As we see Young into the game, getting his first touches, as well as Davis. Young trying to find a lane, but the defense from Burgos is impressive. Simpson has to shoot the three in a hurry. Great defense by Burgos. McFadden, strong to the basket, comes up short. Another rebound for Lima, though. Bassas feeds the low post, and the shot is short from Rivero. Davis now into the corner. Wainwright for three, gets another three to go. Timeout, I think, is going to be called by Burgos. They've seen 14 points dropped on them in under 5 minutes. It's not what they're expecting. So Coach Peñarroya wants to talk things over. There's a replay of the triple from Wainwright in the corner. His first score of the game. Let's jump into the huddle. Let's listen to what the coaches have to say. Coach Peñarroya there just clearing up a few details. You imagine it's all about the perimeter defense that he's talking about with his team. That's where they've struggled. They really do a great job on locking down the lanes and not giving Vechta the ability or the option to drive to the basket. They are, however, giving up wide open perimeter shots at the moment, and that's why Vechta have a 5-point lead with just under 6 minutes gone in the game. Bassas almost turns it over, manages to just scoop it back. That's us now. Looking for the roll from Lima. Lima goes straight to the hole, gets his own rebound. Oh, and flushes it on the second attempt, and you see the aggression as he screams to the ceiling. Davis now. Back to Young. Young, little hesitation, skips it to the corner. Oh, and the jumper's open again. Wainwright this time again. Whatever the timeout from Coach Peñarroya said, doesn't seem to have worked. Second triple of the night for Wainwright. Benite, back of the iron and away. Where's the rebound ending up? Where do you think? In the hands of Augusto Lima. Basas drains the three, and the game continues to be on, played from the outside. Oh, what a play on the defensive end by Lima this time. He looked like he'd lost out transition, but he hadn't. Is that going to be an unsportsmanlike foul? Lima trying to return on the defensive end. Let's have a look. Steps across him, tough to see from that angle. First foul of the game for Burgos, though. I think Lima's going to come to the bench as we see Barrera come in. Also coming out for Vechta is Raffington. He's done a good shift so far, though, Lima. That unsportsmanlike foul is the only blemish on his record. Benite has come out as well. Apic and Barrera are the two players who have come in. For Vechta, Kessens has come in for Raffington. Young misses the first of his two free throws. In fact, it's not the first of two, it's just the unsportsmanlike free throw that he gets. They're not in the penalty situation. Young now inbounds it to Kessens. Davis comes up to take control of the ball. Kessens sets the screen, ball skipped back. Back to Davis, but the shot clock's going to expire before he can get the shot away. Much better defense there from Burgos, chasing the shooters off the perimeter whilst keeping the lane tight. Very, very impressive response from the players in purple. Basas now drives inside, ball hooked back around, but it's going to be another turnover. Young puts the shot up. Rebound ripped down, this time by Wainwright, and they're going to reset and use the shot clock again. Just 5 left now, though, for Young to work with. Little crossover, hesitation, floats inside with the right hand, but he's off target. Game's just a little bit scrappy right now. It's almost crying out for someone to grab hold of it. Can it be Barrera? It can. It's the big three, and that is a way to introduce yourself to the game. It brings Burgos to back within 1 and forces Coach Calles for Vechta to call a timeout. Smooth stroke from Alex Barrera, averaging 32% from the perimeter in the Basketball Champions League. Let's jump into this Vechta huddle.
Very important on the time on serious. See always in this side to force them to the left hand pass on the entry, on the traffic. Always the same to the left winger side. Let's go.
And that's where the coaches earn their big money. The finer details of the game. Coach Calles there just saying to his players, when they're running this play, push them left. He obviously knows where the option is. He knows which player that's going to push the ball to. And there's the detail that this coaching staff have to go into when they're playing at this level of the game. Vechta lead by 1, just under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Young now, back to Vesturia. Kesson sets the screen, Vesturia uses it. Comes back out. The jumper's no good from Wainwright this time, and Burgos just about, no they don't, step out of bounds. Just a bit of a mix-up there between Fittipaldo and Barrera. And Vechta make them pay for that mistake, though. I'm sure they'll be determined to hold on to their lead to take into the end of the first quarter. Young passes it back, drives inside. The defense looked good from Rivero. I think it's just the arm forward that is the problem. He's not straight up. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, the arm comes down. That's where the foul is caused. Going to send Jarell Reichel to the line. It's the first of his 2. Not the best of free throw shooters, just shooting 60% from the free throw line this season. Connects with both this time, though, importantly so. And Coach Peñarroya knows the magic number. Remember, Burgos will qualify for the playoffs if they win this game, but they'll also qualify if they lose by 6 or less. That's the key. That's the magic number for Burgos. For Vechta, they need to win by 7, and they need a result in the favor of Banderma in their game against Pola Cortez. Then they'll make it through. Shot out to Barrera, and another 3. He's coming with a hot hand off the bench. His season high was 12 points back in game day 4 against Pola Cortez. He's already on 6. He's only been on the floor a couple of minutes. Young now for Vechta. That's tied the game into the final minute of the first quarter. Oh, and an awkward looking shot from Herkenhoff is good. Didn't look confident when he put it up with the left hand. Rivera now hands off to McFadden. He turns the corner around the Herkenhoff screen. Rivero for 3. Too much. Let's have a look at the call. I think it's going to be called on Philip Herkenhoff. Got on the wrong side of his man. As a defender, you don't want to be trying to out-rebound someone over the back of them. Apic did a good job here. Let's have a look if we can see them creeping in. Yeah, you see Apic there. He sealed out Herkenhoff well. And the score is good. Rivero ties the game yet again. Likely to be the final possession of this first quarter now. Josh Young with possession. He's going to run the clock down. They're running an offense, but at the moment the defense is holding out. Vesturia, good skip to Herkenhoff. Hesitates, shoots, comes up short. McFadden's got some time. Oh, and the shot is just short from Thaddeus McFadden. And as we expected, we have an absolute humdinger of a game here. End of the first quarter, 22 to Burgos, 22 to Vechta. So much at stake and such a close game. As you can see, this game is being played from the perimeter. Both teams shooting better from outside the arc than they are inside. Always unbelievable when you see that statistic, but it's been a specific strategy from both these teams. They know they can shoot the ball well, so they've worked their offense to create those opportunities to put up the long bombs. And the likes of Benite will shoot 3s all day long. Also joining the party from Vechta's point of view has been Simpson and Wainwright. But a wonderful perimeter shooting display here in this first quarter, and that's what's led to such a good first quarter. 22 points apiece at the end of 10. And we thought this game was going to be close, and you cannot separate them after the first period of action. There's times in that first quarter, though, where you felt like, oh, if only a team could grab hold of the game, grab it by the scruff of the neck, take control of it, dictate the tempo a little bit more. Maybe they can come away with something. Maybe they can establish a considerable lead. If they do, neither team's been able to do it, though. Much to the credit of both teams, to be fair. Defensively, they flexed and changed as the game has developed in the first 10 minutes. Big 10 minutes of basketball to come now. You always concentrate on this second quarter. There's a real psychological advantage. What is the gap going to be at the halftime break? Can someone dominate this second quarter and open a double-digit lead? That's what Coach Calles there will be focusing on with his team. He knows, particularly when you're on the road, trying to take the crowd out of it if you can in Burgos. I'm not sure that's possible. Trying to take the crowd out of it as best you can and make it almost a fair fight as if it were on neutral ground is what he'll try and do. So second quarter action underway here in Spain. Final game day of the Basketball Champions League, and everything to play for between these two teams and nothing to separate them at the end of the first quarter. First shot is no good from Herkenhoff, and the foul is going to be blown up against, not sure, is it Rivero? I think it might be. Yeah, Rivero blown for an early foul. That's going to see him heading to the bench. Second foul called on him. Asturia has the ball knocked away by Apic. Reichel now to inbound things for Vechta. Goes along to Wainwright. Wainwright hands it off to Vesturia, and once again, Vechta look to the outside for their scoring opportunities. Fittipaldo now for Burgos. Are they going to continue to try and score from outside? And you can see what a threat they think Barrera is for Burgos, as Reichel is all over him. A little bit too much attention from Reichel on the defensive end. Fittipaldo for three. Off target, and Wainwright secures the rebound for Vechta. And once again, both teams happy to take the threes. Asturia floats inside, draws the foul, can't connect with the and one play, but does earn himself a trip to the line. Let's have a look. Is it McFadden that's going to get called? I think it might be. Second team foul on Burgos, and under a minute gone here in the second quarter. McFadden's going to come out of the game, and in comes Benite. Asturia is at the line for two shots, though, and he's near automatic, 94% from the free throw line. He's had a wonderful season, the American Steve Asturia, after joining the club in the summer from Panicio, also in Spain. Unusually missed the first, connects with the second though, and Vechta take the first lead here of the second quarter. Fittipaldo now comes back to Benite, and you see how hard they chase Benite around the perimeter. They know what a threat he is. Fittipaldo's open for three though. Hasn't quite found his range yet, Bruno Fittipaldo. Obviously the Uruguayan international. It's a wonderful asset to bring off the bench for Burgos. Quick ball movement now, open to DeLeo. No joy, Wainwright with the rebound, and he gets the roll on the putback. Wainwright is doing it all over the floor at the moment for Vechta. He's up to 8 points. And Vechta's lead is out to 3. Fittipaldo once again corralling the troops in front of him. Benite now at the top. Apic with the screen, and the hedge comes hard to Clark. Corner 3. His third attempt from that exact spot and his third miss. The tough night from Earl Clark continues. He's shooting 33% before this evening's game from outside in the Basketball Champions League, so you can understand why he wants to shoot that corner pocket 3. Fittipaldo to inbound it. Does so to Apic, who hands it back to him. Inside to Apic. Floor opens up for him, but doesn't exploit. Does in the end, though. Just ducks through the defense to get the score. Dragan Apic. Vesturia now. Waiting for the screen from Herkenhoff. Doesn't use it, though. Just floats to the basket, but it's knocked away by the big hands of Earl Clark. Feeds it inside. Apic again. 2 quick scores for Dragan Apic. Averaging just shy of 9 points a game, Apic. Provides him with an alternative look in the front court. Paying dividends this evening as Burgos take the lead with that score. Davis now. No joy. Fittipaldo in amongst the trees, pulls the rebound down. Up here, Clark to the basket, and he's fouled by Herkenhoff. And that's a smart play by Earl Clark. Needed to kickstart his offense, yet to score 0 from 3 from the field. Goes strong to the basket and demand. There's the defensive play from him. And here he follows it up with an assist as well. And that's the key. You know, Clark's had a tough start to the game, but he's now being more aggressive, more direct to make things work for him. Timeout called by Vechta. Let's listen to Coach Kayas. Wonderful tribute there to Kobe Bryant from Burgos. Mascot with one of Kobe's Lakers jerseys, and also one of the Burgos jerseys printed up with Kobe's name on the back. A legend that will be missed by anyone who's had anything to do with basketball in the last 30 years, that's for sure. Kind of environment, though, and game that the likes of Kobe Bryant would have absolutely adored. Everything on the line. A real one-and-done environment here this evening when men are made. We'll come back in, and Earl Clark will be at the line for the bonus free throw. Not the best free throw shooter, only 67% from the free throw line this season, Earl Clark. Connects with the bonus shot, and Burgos' lead is now out to 4. Just over 3 minutes played here in the second quarter. Asturia waits for the Wainwright screen, drives the baseline, pass to Simpson, corner pocket 3 is good to go for Simpson. And the rain continues here in Burgos. Benite inside, pulls up short, mid-range 2, too heavy-handed, grabs his own rebound though, and Clark's open for 3. Oh, and he must sigh a relief for Earl Clark. Missed his first 3 attempts from deep, hits his 4th. 6 points to his name. Davis drains the shot. That's his first score of the night, and that could be an important one. Remember, Jordan Davis lit Burgos up in the reverse of this game, scored 35 against them. Joint highest score by a player in the Basketball Champions League this season. sure Burgos have nightmares of that performance. Clark for three, drains another one. And you wait for an Earl Clark three to turn up, and then you know what? Two turn up at once. Asteria now off his own foot and away, and Vechta need to be careful. Remember, they need to win by 7, so effectively they're trailing by 12, really. It's crazy to say, but that's kind of how you have to look at it. As we see the change made, and Asteria goes to the bench. Young comes back in. Fittipaldo now for Burgos. Comes back to Benite. Just a wizard with the ball. Inside to Apic. Another score from the Serbian. Foul on Apic as Davis just blasts his way to the basket. Apic needs to be careful. I'm not sure if they'll review that for an unsportsmanlike. Just saying it's a holding foul. It'll be 2 shots for Davis. Let's have a look at the replay, and it literally was that change of direction, a slight crossover, and the 22-year-old blasts his way to the basket. Too much on the first attempt. This is the problem when you're in a game like this for Vechta. Every mistake, every missed opportunity is almost amplified in this pressure cooker of an arena. Saw the flags waving behind the basket. The home fans really are worth some points here to Burgos when they play at home. Fittipaldo now to Clark. He hands it back, and once again Burgos will be patient. Clark comes around. Good defense by Wainwright though. Knocks out the chance of him shooting the 3. Benite to Clark. He's open for the 3. Hesitation, drives inside, and the big man is unstoppable at the moment. And this is the exact threat that Earl Clark brings. At 2 meters and 9 centimeters, he can post you up, he can go and do the rough and tumble in the paint, but he also has a silky handle as he gets to the basket. Much to the appreciation of the fans in the stands. Back at the line for another 3-point play. Can't convert this one though, and Burgos' lead is at 8. As Kessens there picks up his 2nd foul. 13th foul of the quarter on Vechta as well. Both teams on 3 team fouls with 4.5 minutes left in the quarter. Davis now, what can he do? Crossover, and the door is shut on him by Fittipaldo. Gets it back to Kessens, but Kessens' little baby hook comes up short. Clark comes back to Fittipaldo, and Burgos will run their offense again. Inside to Apic now. Hands it back to Fittipaldo. Wonderful fluid offense here by Burgos, but the defense is strong enough. It looks like Wainwright may be winded after taking that contact. Simpson throws it away, but it's off the leg of Fittipaldo, I think, so it's going to remain in possession of Vechta. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. Benite manages to read the pass, get his hand there, but can only knock it off the leg of Bruno Fittipaldo. As we see Apic head to the bench, and he's been very important. Played just over 9 minutes here, put 6 points on the board, and has been involved in an 11-point lead for Burgos. Plus minus of 11 for him. A couple of changes there for Burgos, so as we see Lima come back into the game. Davis now. And a double team on the perimeter. Rare that you see that. Wonderful defense by Burgos. And the singing just goes up a few decibels. Clark now. Oh, and he splits the defenders. Out to Clark, won't take the 3, drives inside, elbow jumper is good for Earl Clark. Might have taken him some time to warm up, but my goodness me, he's warmed up now. He's up to 13 points already. Simpson now pulls up for the three. No joy, and who pulls the rebound down? Earl Clark with his 5th rebound of the game. Foul's going to be called on Simpson, and Vechta need to be careful. This game is running away from them quickly. Their chances of making the Basketball Champions League playoff is running away from them quickly. And you see the frustration for Coach Kayesh. He knows that they can't make these mistakes. Foul called on Simpson, and Vechta now in the penalty. Just Simpson's first foul though. Bassas with the inbound, smart play, but Benite couldn't quite get the finish, and it would have been a remarkable finish if he could. Young now. Waits for the screen from Raffington. Back out to Herkenhoff for three. Oh, and how much did Vechta need that three? But Benite comes away with it to Clark. Clark looking to post his man up. Doesn't get it to go. Lima hustling down an offensive rebound, kicks it out. The three is no good for Bassas, and at the moment, Burgos are absolutely in control of this game. I talked about it in the first quarter break. Someone could take control of this game and open it up, and that's exactly what Burgos have done. They've controlled the tempo and the manner by which the game is being played. Raffington unable to get the score, but does draw the foul from Lima. Under 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. Burgos lead by 10. As we see Herkenhoff head to the bench. Into the game comes Wainwright. Also in is DeLeo. At the moment, Vechta really don't have an offensive threat that is doing any damage to Burgos here in the second quarter. Young doesn't take the three, draws the Lima foul. As we see, almost see the cogs ticking in Coach Peñarroya's head there as he sees Lima pick up his first foul. Just got caught with the fake from Young. Not a bad foul to give up though. Young will go to the line though, because Burgos are in the penalty. It's the first of his two. 83% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game, Josh Young. Connects with both, and that will see him head to the bench as we see Vesturia come back in and Herkenhoff coming in. Raffington heading out. Bassas now. Burgos lead by 8. 1:45 left in the second quarter. Benite, long three. He's short, and the rebounding battle eventually falls to Herkenhoff. Asturia drives the baseline to Simpson, open for three. Oh, how do they need that shot as well? They're getting the shots at the moment, they're just not converting them, and that's got to be a concern for Vechta. The biggest worry before the game would have been, well, are we going to get the opportunities to win this game? They've been given the opportunities, but they're not making them count. Clark for three. Oh, and he drains another three. Oh, Clark taking his team on his back. He's up to 16 points now. 60% from the field, the big man. Drive to the basket. Asturia is going to pick up the foul. I think Miguel Salvo is going to get called for that one. He'll head to the line for 2 shots, and sometimes when you're not getting your shots, when your offense isn't firing, the free throw line can be a blessing. Just to keep the scoreboard ticking over when your jumper's not falling. That could be massive for Vechta. Keeps them in the game. They trail by 10 now. Just 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter in this critical Basketball Champions League game. Playoff places in the balance for both of these teams. Benite now. Spin move on the baseline. Long two, and he drains it. And when Benite gets the ball like that, it's almost like a dance as he floats and spins his way around defenders, putting them in a daze before he gets away. A beautiful looking jumper. What can Vechta do with their last shot? Herkenhoff hands it inside. No, he doesn't. It's stolen away. Will Rainwhite get the shot away? No, he won't. And that is going to be the end of the first half of play. And for Coach Kayes there, it is a big half-time break. What can he do with his team to change things up? Because at the moment, Burgos are sitting comfortably. Everything's gone their way in that second quarter. At the half-time break, it's Burgos 46, Vechta 34. Here are your shooting stats, and as you can see, Burgos still shooting exceptionally well from outside, and Vechta aren't doing too badly. It's just dried up a little bit in that second quarter. Once again, though, Vechta struggling to get their defensive boards. Burgos have got as many offensive rebounds as Vechta have defensive rebounds. You are never going to win a game when that stat is displayed. You know that you have to protect your paint, protect your boards. And at the moment, they're not doing it. Here are your top scores. Clark, only player in double digits. Benite on 9. Barrera on 6 for Burgos. Simpson 9. Wainwright 8. Asturias 7 for Vechta. Earl Clark had such a slow start to the game. Things certainly weren't going his way. He had 3 shots from the corner. He missed all 3. And then there was just almost like breaking the seal on the basket for him. And it just started to flood in that second quarter, going to the locker room with 16.7 rebounds. Most players would be happy to have that stat line at the end of the game. But Earl Clark has it at the halftime break. Let's take you through some of these stat lines that we have at the halftime break. So Earl Clark leading things with 16 points, 7 rebounds, an efficiency score of 19. Behind him is Vitor Benite. He has 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists to his name. And a couple of players on 6 points for Burgos. Apic on 6 and Barrera on 6. Remember, he came in and hit 2 big triples off the bench. As for Vechta, Simpson leads their scoring 9 points. All of those points coming from range. He also has 3 rebounds as well. But probably the most impactful player has been Ishmael Wainwright. 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals to his name. Scoring from the outside as well as in the paint. Only other player really hammering the offensive end is Steve Asturias. He has 7 points to his name as well. But an interesting first half. Remember, playoff places in the balance for both of these teams. For Burgos, they need to either win the game, or if they can't win, they need to lose by 6 or less. Then they will progress to the playoffs. For Vechta, slightly more complicated situation. So for Vechta, they need to win the game by 7 or more. Then on top of that, they need Banderma to beat Polak Ortez as well. That will see Vechta go through to the playoffs. And we'll see Burgos depart. However, at the halftime break, it looks like the Spaniards are maybe a toe, should we say, a big toe into the postseason playoffs here in the Basketball Champions League. With 20 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go. San Pablo Burgos 46, Rasta Vechta 34. We'll be back with all the second half action shortly.
Llega la réplica del equipo azul. Se vuelve a adelantar el equipo verde de Estela. Y tenemos un partido igualadísimo porque empata de nuevo el equipo azul. Que vivo el básquet ofensivo, nueva canasta del equipo verde.
And Besiktas with an opportunity here to take the lead at halftime. McKissick flies in. Oh my goodness, quite possibly for the play of the half. Dunks it in, and we see the real Shaquille McKissick.
Angola now skips it to Sealer. Sealer, little crossover, little step back. Oh, wonderful handle by the big man. My goodness me, and both teams have opened the game exactly the same way with a statement of intent. Two big dunks on either end.
Dangerous pass. Well, they give up the baseline, and Simons goes in. He gets rejected by Pearl. Pearl defensively tonight has a couple of swats, and that one was right out of the top drawer.
One-handed pass into the corner. Can't get it to go, but a big time throwdown by Dalton. Hayden Dalton.
Benite goes in and gets the rebound. Oh, goes behind his back. He puts it up. Are you kidding me? Vitor Benite is exceptional tonight. He is just making almost everything that he throws up. Look at this.
Foul called. Crosses over. Single behind the back pass. Oh, what a play. Jorman Bartolo, that is just beautiful. Roten left hand with a crushing dunk all over Hapoel Jerusalem right there. Just out of nothing, he took off and threw it down. Tony Roten. Now he goes off the dribble, and Terry with a big swat. Just throws it back in Simpson's face. Can they get the three? Just shot. Oh my goodness! Emmanuel Terry is taking this game over. That's awesome.
4 seconds left, the three-pointer to win it, yes! Tyler Stone! It's not over yet.
Drives inside, oh my word, Chris Dow. That is special. That is really special from Chris Dow.
Final del partido entre los equipos verde y azul del Club Deportivo Estela, que nos han regalado un encuentro igualadísimo. las entrenadoras del Club Deportivo Estela de la Asociación Síndrome Down Burgos. ¡Sois muy grandes campeones! El Coliseum va a revivir de actividad estos carnavales. Os traemos planes para todas las edades. El sábado 22 y domingo 23, a partir de las 12 del mediodía, el Festival Infantil Catedral de los Niños, apadrinado por la Fundación Octavo Centenario. El sábado podremos disfrutar de la generación Spinete y Don Pifón, mientras que el domingo será el espectáculo Tadeo Jones, oficial de Mediaset, el que nos amenice la mañana. El precio, 20 euros, el abono para los 2 días o la entrada de un día por 15 euros. Además de propina después del espectáculo infantil el domingo y con entrada gratuita, actuará sí o qué hasta las 2:30 de la tarde. Pero también traemos diversión para los más mayores. El sábado por la noche actuará Talco más un grupo telonero a partir de las 8:30 de la tarde. El precio será de 18 euros. Y la noche es joven porque de madrugada tendremos un festival electrónico con, entre otros grupos, Grotesque, además de otros DJs. Eso empezará a las 12 de la noche. El precio de este espectáculo será 15 euros. También puedes apuntarte a los 2 espectáculos del sábado con el bono por 28 euros para asistir a ambos eventos. Todas las entradas están disponibles en el portal entradas.com. Acércate también al Coliseum estos carnavales y disfruta de espectáculos del bueno. Y el descanso es un momento idóneo para acercarte a la tienda que se coloca en el sector A del Coliseum para ver las últimas novedades de merchandising del club. Las camisetas de juego, los cubres, sudaderas, bufandas, en fin, un montón de artículos para poder lucir los colores de tu equipo favorito. Además, puedes visitar las oficinas de la calle Juan Alvarellos, número 2 primero, junto a la avenida del Cid, o las tiendas Base Deportes Manzanero durante el resto de la semana. Y te recordamos que puedes estampar de forma totalmente gratuita el nombre de un pueblo de la provincia con menos de 100 habitantes en la espalda de la camiseta morada de la Basketball Champions League. No esperes más y hazte ya con los productos oficiales del San Pablo Burgos.
Welcome back to Burgos here in Spain for this final game of the Basketball Champions League regular season. And what a game we've had here. Everything on the line for these two teams. Their playoff fate hangs in the balance. But at the halftime break, you'd have to say Burgos have 1 foot in the postseason. They lead Vechta 46-34. And you really do have to chalk this down, not to one man, but there's one man that really has stepped up. After a slow start to the game, missing his first 3 shots, Noel Clark is at the halftime break with 16 points and 7 rebounds to his name. Leading Vechta is that man there, Travis Simpson. He's on 9 points. But both teams have relied heavily on their perimeter shooting, and that's where the gap has occurred, because Vechta in the second quarter, their perimeter shooting just dried up. The teams were level at the end of the first quarter, 22-22, but Burgos outscored Vechta 24-12 in that second quarter. Great performance from the home team. And unless Coach Calles can change things, that man there in short, Coach Peñarroya, is taking his team into the postseason. 20 minutes left to play here. Just a quick reminder before we get back into the action. If you haven't done so already, get your phones out. Download the official Basketball Champions League app, completely free, available on iOS, available on Android. It'll bring you absolutely anything you ever wanted to know about the Basketball Champions League. It'll bring you all the stats and the news and the highlight plays and absolutely everything to do with the competition. A real useful companion as we go through this. So before the second half tips off, make sure you've got that downloaded. 20 minutes for Coach Calles to turn things around. Here we go, second half action underway. And straight away, Vechta went into a press, which got broken almost instantly, and Kessens was forced to foul. I understand what Vechta are trying to do at the start of the second half, change the tempo, change the direction of the game, but that was an exceptionally weak-looking zone press. Lucky not to be punished by Burgos fully. Benite open for three, and that only ends one way. Benite extends Burgos' lead further now. They're out to 15, which effectively means that Vechta have to have a 22-point swing in this game now to make it to the playoffs. Wainwright going up against Clark. Little step back is good, and Wainwright was one of the bright sparks from that first half. He's the first Vechta player in double digits now. 10 points for him. Oh, Bassas almost throws it away. Benite bails him out. Clark, good ball movement here. Bassas inside. Shot clock down to 2. Clark for the long 2, in and out. Kessens with the rebound for Vechta. De Leo now, fouled by Lima. It's up and close and personal with the officials there, Lima, after the foul. This is Wainwright going to work against Clark, and that could be a key battle in this second half. Both those players important on both ends of the floor for their team. Asturia now tries to find Kessens, but it's a kick ball. So a new 14 will be given to Vechta to work with. Asturia now goes to the corner. Wainwright's rejected by Lima. Good defense by Burgos, and that's where a lot of this lead has stemmed from. An increase in their defensive intensity in that second quarter enabled them to stretch the lead out. De Leo now to Simpson. Door closed on him by Benite, but he puts the shot up and gets it to go, and that's the value of someone like Travis Simpson. Slightly unorthodox, very confident, and able to score when the odds are stacked against him. Bassas now slowing things down. Shot clock at 10. Benite has the door closed on him by Simpson, goes to Clark. And Clark throws it away. Benite puts his hand up, just a miscommunication, but smiles on the faces of the two Burgos players. Maybe not on Benite's face. You wonder when he does smile. I imagine if they make it to the playoffs, he might have a little time to smile this evening, Vitor Benite. As we see Young come back into the game for Vechta now as well. Asturia going to work, comes back out to Wainwright. Wainwright trying to shake Clark. Young with the fake, the long 2 is good. And Vechta's offense is starting to warm up again, and that's a worrying sign for Burgos. They're within 9 now, Vechta. It's a 6-point swing they've had. Lima loses control of the ball, and Vechta again. Steal it away. Foul's going to be called on. Is it Bassas? Yeah, I think it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, just loads of lateral movement there. He knows he wasn't going to get away with this one. There's the long 2 from Young on the previous possession. Second team foul for Burgos in this third quarter. Over 7 minutes still to play. That might bear a burden on them at the back end of this quarter. Young draws another foul, this time from Miguel Salvo. I think that's going to mean Salvo heads to the bench. In his place comes Thaddeus McFadden. Things don't get any easier for Vechta when you see someone like McFadden coming onto the floor. Young wide open for 3. Oh, in and out on that attempt, and the long arms of Earl Clark pulls in the rebound. Tries to split the defenders, and the foul's going to be called. Is it on Kesson or Young? I think could be take your pick there, as Bassas just split the defenders, saw the gap, particularly as the screen rolled away. And ultimately, once you've done that, it's only going to end one way. Well, one of 2 ways, either a foul or a score. Clark now going up against Wainwright, gets pushed back. Good defense in the end by Vechta, up in the physicality. Not sure what that pass was from Vesturia, but it was off target to Clark. Stripped away, but it's out of bounds. And Clark gives the official, shall we say, an unpleasant stare after the no call. As it's stripped away by Young. It's going to be a baseline ball for Burgos. And Vechta have looked more sprightly here in the third quarter. A bit more energy, a bit more direction on both ends of the floor. Particularly defensively, intensity seems to have increased somewhat. Clark now inside to Lima. Lima looking to go to work against Kessons. In and out and in again. Augusto Lima working hard. Vesturia now has his lane closed off. And Wainwright is going to be fouled by Bassas. Watch a replay of that. Yeah, Bassas just trying to fight his way over the screen. Here's a replay of the old school hook shot from Lima. Stolen away by Lima, quick hands by the big man, drives the lane, and one Augusto Lima! As he lies in a bit of a bundle on the floor. McFadden helps him to his feet. Vesturia called for the foul. That's well read, he dived in, he cheated and dived into the passing lane. That was a hard foul. But he kept his eye on the prize and got the score. Vesturia called for his first foul, third team foul of the quarter for Vechta. So Lima will head to the line for the extra bonus shot. And I'm sure there's a slight sigh of relief from Coach Peñarroya. He knows really now that Burgos have got this lead, they need to hold Vechta at arm's length. They don't want to let them back into the game. As we see Jordan Davis come back into the action for Vechta. Lima no good with the bonus shot. So Burgos' lead stays at 13, under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Wainwright comes back to Young for 3. Oh, that's a big shot, and Young is really come to play. He's up to 8 points now. And Vechta starting to show signs of what they did in the first quarter. That will be worrying for Burgos. Bassas. Nice pass, and Clark flushes it home. Good quick ball movement into the corner. No good, and Burgos are out at the races. Easy pass, Benite for the finger roll off the glass. Burgos' lead back out to 14 now. Wonderful pass, and the easiest of finishes for a man of the talent of Vitor Benite. It's a replay as Bassas once again splits the defenders, hands it off to Clark for the easy flush. Clark up to 18 points, 10 rebounds now. He's got his double-double. And a timeout has been called by Coach Kayesh. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Jordan. Entry. Boom. They go UCLA. Raffington, you are here. Simpson. We just played this action. And then Wainwright, Raffington, elevator, close the door for Josh. That clear? It's clear the play. Let's go. Hey, keep fighting. Let's go. Let's go, man. Keep fighting. Hey, right on 3, 1, 2, 3.
And there's a rallying cry from Coach Kayesh there. Let's keep fighting, and he knows that's part of the key, the psychology. There's no way they're out of the game. That's not, you know, the situation, but psychologically, they basically have got a 20-point deficit now between them and making the playoffs. With the situation that they're in, they need to win by 7 points. They're trailing by 14. And it's a 21-point turnaround with just under 15 minutes of game time left. Young for the long two. That's no good. Out of bounds, Raffington as he came down with the ball. So it's possession of Burgos as we see Bassas on the bench. And Fittipaldo's come in for him. Doesn't get any easier, does it? This Burgos team rotate beautifully. Really like for like coming off the bench. The level doesn't drop, the intensity doesn't drop. Clark has it stripped away though. Simpson now. He hands it off, and a float inside, but rejected by Lima. He met him at the top floor and said, I'm afraid you're not coming in. Fittipaldo now, back out to Clark, inside to Lima. He's fouled by Raffington. And Lima, 3 blocks to his name. He's getting the appreciation of the crowd. Oh, perfectly timed block as he just pins it against the glass. And watch that replay over and over again. One of those plays that is just perfectly timed and absolutely beautiful. The fans are enjoying this one. He'll head to the bench for a well-earned breather, the big man, as Apic comes back in for Burgos. Pass into Barrera. It's a good pass from Fittipaldo. Barrera draws the foul and earns himself a trip to the line straight away. And this is what Barrera's done all game. He knows his role. He's not one of the stars of the Burgos roster, but he knows when he comes on the floor that he needs to make an impact and make it quickly. In the first half, he came on and hit 2 threes really quickly off the bat. He's now come into the game, and straight away, he's forcing Vechta into different places, draws the foul and gets himself to the line, hits the first of his 2. And the second is good as well. 8 points now for Barrera. Davis calling for the screen, trying to shape up McFadden, puts him on the floor, floats in and gets the 2. Good play by Jordan Davis. Fittipaldo now. Ball goes in from Rivero to Apic. Traveling going to be called on Apic as almost pulls his own arm out the socket on the spin. Let's have a look at the travel. Yeah, absolutely. Picked up that trail foot. Here's Davis putting McFadden on the floor, connecting with a tough drive. Young now. Pass inside is off track for Raffington. There was no way he was going to hold on to that one. Coach Kayes not impressed. Oh, stolen away though. That's great hands by Davis. Drives to the basket against Fittipaldo, but Fittipaldo steals it back. Smart play by the Uruguayan. Shot fake by Barrera to Rivero, and every single member of the Burgos team is in unison right now. A well-oiled machine. Davis to the basket, is fouled though. Draws the foul off Apic. Davis will go to the line for 2 shots. You could just look. You watch Davis's eyes, he saw it coming. There's the pass from Barrera to Rivero though. And Burgos offensively are just a beautiful thing to watch at the moment. They lead by 16, under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Whoever's in the front office of Burgos at the moment, I'm sure they've got the laptop open and potentially start looking around maybe what flights they want to book and hotels they want to book, who potentially will be their opponents in the playoffs. Might be a little bit early to be doing that, but you'd be tempted to, particularly if you're a fan maybe of Burgos. Starting to have a look at, well, who do we fancy, where do we fancy a road trip to in the playoffs, in the round of 16? Vechta way too strong on both ends of the floor to be doing that just yet. Even if you are tempted to. Burgos up by 14. Fittipaldo with the pass inside. It's stolen away though. Young hands it off to Davis. He gets another 2, and yet timeout called by Peñarroya. Exactly what I was talking about. You cannot become complacent at this level of basketball. The Basketball Champions League is at such a standard that you close your mind down for just 2 or 3 possessions and a game can change like that. And we see Coach Peñarroya instantly call for the timeout. Let's jump into his huddle, hear what he has to say.
Para Davis hacia adentro. Davis, vamos, coño. Nobody can make it over here. You're the boss inside. ¿Qué? Y no nos quejemos por las manos. Jugamos duro, verticales. Tougher now. And vertical. Vamos a una puño. Regular fist. Regular fist.
Always interesting to watch how coaches work with interpreters, and such an important relationship on that bench, and it's paying dividends at the moment, and it has numerous times this season, particularly here in their home arena. But at the moment they lead by 12 on the night. Remember, it's for Vechta to change things. Vechta need to win by at least 7 or Burgos are in the playoffs. That's where the simple maths of it are. If Vechta gets that 7-point lead, we can talk about the other things that need to happen for them. Foul's going to be called, and Wainwright's not happy on Rasta Vechta's side. That's going to send Fittipaldo to the line for 2 free throws. And I'm not sure you needed to apply the pressure, if I'm honest. Play the defense that you've been playing. Sorry, it's Barrera going to the line. Play the defense that you've been playing because it's been working. You didn't really need to change things up too much. Keep your momentum. Whereas now you've slightly handed that back to Burgos. Long pass from Wainwright to Young is too long. And all the momentum that Vechta had has just eked away, and you can see the frustration from Coach Kayes. Fittipaldo to Rivero, inside to Apic now. He's got the mismatch, but they're not going to use it. Or are they? They're going to go back a second time. Raffington comes across and it's stolen away in the end by Young. Davis now trying to cross up for Fittipaldo, puts the three up, and you hear the whip of the net. That's a big shot for Vechta. Davis, obviously huge in the first game between these two teams. He's up to 9 points now, sorry, 12 points. No, 9 points for Davis, my mistake. McFadden, long two. And this is the problem you have when you're playing Burgos. Just the depth of the bench. So many offensive options. You can't just lock out one or two players. Wainwright for three. He hits the three as well. And this is reminiscent of the first quarter. I imagine Burgos will look to go back to chasing the shooters off the perimeter. They only lead by 10 now. Clark's going to come back into the game. I imagine Apic will make way. Fittipaldo drives inside, but throws it away. And Vechta are handed another opportunity to fight their way back into this game. Yeah, Clark coming in. In fact, it's Rivero coming out. Also, Bassas is in. I think Fittipaldo might have made way for him. Clark, obviously, the man of the moment for Burgos. 18 points, 10 balls to his name, and another bucket for Vechta. Davis with the score, and they're within single digits. This is a worrying time for Burgos. 30 seconds remaining now in the third quarter, and they only lead by 8. McFadden off target. Rebound pulled down by Raffington. Last possession for Vechta, you imagine. Can they close the gap even further? It's been a tough quarter for them, and to only trail by, say, 5 or 6 points would be a wonderful outcome ultimately for them. Davis for three. He's fouled by McFadden, an offensive foul, in fact. Kicking his feet out, I think. Or was it on the screener? Let's have a look. Yeah, it was. It was on Raffington. He just ran McFadden away. Oh, that's so frustrating for Vechta. They've done everything to fight their way back in, and just a clumsy mistake by Raffington has cost them. Davis is now in pain as well. This could be a double blow for the Germans. Raffington will come out of the game. In comes Herkenhoff. 3 seconds left. What can McFadden do? Oh, almost hits the three. That would have been a bit of a dagger to Vechta. A very up and down roller coaster third quarter here in this critical Basketball Champions League game, but 3 quarters have gone. Burgos 65, Rasta Vechta 57. Here are your shooting stats. As you can see, both teams still shooting well from outside. Neither team shooting brilliantly from the free throw line, but a pretty efficient performance from both teams so far here. This looks like a problem though. Davis, obviously a huge player for Vechta. The last thing you want to see is a player with his boot off and ice. And you can see the pain in his eyes as well. That could be a massive issue for Vechta. He's the one that's really lit up in that third quarter. And by the looks of it, we might not see him again this evening. Because as much as European basketball is important, Vechta have the domestic season as well to think about. Here are some of the highlights from that third quarter. Remember, Burgos, they came out of the blocks absolutely like a bat out of hell in that third quarter, pushed open the lead even further, and then it was for Vechta to form some kind of comeback, and most of it came from the perimeter. Wainwright, Young, Davis, all hitting big threes. That got them back into the game, and once again, it's in the balance. You still feel that Burgos are heavy, heavy favourites to win this game. They lead by 8 on the night, but remember, they have a 6-point cushion as well. So really, they lead by 14, if you kind of want to include that into the scoreline. It's got to be a 15-point swing in this final quarter for Vechta to have any chance, and Davis is hobbling. I'll be amazed if we see him back on the floor this evening, whether they try and patch him up or not. It's a big, big game, their biggest game of their season so far. And it's going to come down to Coach KS whether he wants to risk him or not, but here we go. Final quarter of action underway here in Spain. Burgos lead by 8 over Vechta in this do or die final game of the regular season, and Young tries to go in, Kesson does, and my goodness me, you can't complain at how hard Vechta crashed the offensive glass. They just couldn't get the roll on that play. That's us now. Hands it back to Benite, to Clark. Clark fakes the 3, drives inside, dumps it off to Apic, and one. What a combination this evening between Clark and Apic. Those two are really finding a form together. Apic on loan from Lokomotiv Cuban this season. Just 24 years of age. But what a player. I'm sure he's learning a huge amount pairing up with Earl Clark. Apic to the line for the extra attempt. That takes him to 9 points, and probably more importantly, Burgos out to an 11-point win. Kessons with his 4th foul as well. Oh, McFadden steals it away, drives inside, draws the foul from Young. So McFadden will head to the line for 2 shots. And Burgos look like they've gone back to where they were before. Much more control, confidence in the way they're playing here in the first minute of this final quarter. McFadden hits the first of his 2. Quiet night relatively for McFadden. Just 6 points to his name. He's averaging just shy of 11 a game. What a player he is, though. It's the second as well. And Vechta now need to be near perfect if they're to make it through to the Basketball Champions League playoffs. Kesson now trying to back his way against Apic. Does the job, but his left hand is off target. Benite open for 3. Oh, and he drains the 3. Vitor Benite is just a joy to watch. Plays the game with such grace and passion. And if you're a fan of the men in purple, you are so glad he's on your team. Clinical, to say the least. The slightest of fakes opens up the space for him to hit the 3, and you can see what it means to him as well. Let's jump into this Vechta timeout.
No turnover on entry passes. We need to set the screen. Okay? Next play, we're gonna play high 44 top. Okay? High 44 top. Wave right, boom, handoff. This guy, Simpson, vector. Okay? And then take a off, screen. Nothing is there. Wave right, you can play click action. Okay? Hang it off. You don't have for the ball screen roll to pop. You gotta roll.
Hey, they switch. Because he's been yelling out switch. You switch, bro. Once I'm coming off, you set that screen, you can switch.
Hey, all good. We compete. Ever, we cannot make stupid mistakes.
Let's go, fellas.
Execute after 1, 2, 3. Execute. Let's go.
Coach KS there must know that it really is last chance saloon for his team. They trail by 16 on the night. They're 20 points away. A 20-point swing away from making it to the playoffs. And if they're going to make a move, they've got to make it now. We'll need to be pretty much perfect for the final just shy of 9 minutes of this one. Young now, looking for the pass inside, nothing's there. Wainwright's open for three though. And he comes up short. Benite with the rebound. That's his 4th rebound of the night, along with his 16 points as well, Vitor Benite. Bassas now, back to Benite. Apic sets the screen and rolls. It's going to set him another one though. Clark inside to Apic. A little bit too much heat on the pass from Clark. Apic couldn't hold on to it. So it will be a Vechta ball on the baseline. Wainwright now to Vesturia. Back to Wainwright. He's going to hand it off to Simpson for the long two. That's blocked though, but it's fallen into the hands of Herkenhoff, and he'll take the gift and finish the layup. Stolen away. Vesturia doesn't get the shot to go, or does he? And it's fallen the other side of the ring, and Apic recovers to pull in the rebound. He helps his guards out. They're slightly undersized in the backcourt with Bassas, McFadden and Benite on the floor at the same time. Almost stolen away by Simpson. He can only get a hand into the passing lane though. Bassas now drives inside. Foul's going to be called. And you can see the party's already starting for the Burgos fans. They're enjoying the dancing. Wainwright starting to show some of his frustrations now. He needs to be careful. The officials won't put up with a histrionics, that's for sure. And you see the look from Bassas. I don't think he was too impressed by Wainwright reaching in like that. Third foul on Herkenhoff. Just over 7 minutes to play now. Benite for three. Slightly short with that attempt. And Bassas throws it long, but it's stolen away by Wainwright. He's at the races. Is the basket going to count? No, it's going to count as a block. They're saying it was still on its way up when it was swatted by Apic. Good defense by the Serbian. Let's have a look at a replay. There's Wainwright out against McFadden, draws the foul. It's the right call from the officials. Just good defense by Dragan Apic. It's still going up. That'll be 2 free throws though for Wainwright. Hits the first. He's on his way to a double-double, is Ishmael Wainwright. He's up to 14 points along with 8 rebounds this evening. But it's all for nothing if they can't turn this game around. He misses the second. Lima grabs the rebound. Stolen away. Good eyes by Vesturia. Read the game well. And the ball's come off Vesturia, so it's going to be a Burgos possession on the baseline. Good transition defense by Burgos. Look at Lima working hard alongside Benite to get back. It's the right call by the officials. Benite stripped it away and it came off Vesturia's legs. Foul called on DeLeo. Third foul on Vechta in the quarter. Still one more to go before they're in the penalty. Still one to give. Salvo will look to inbound the ball for Burgos. Does so to Bassas. And really, for Burgos now, time management comes into the game at such an early stage. Benite fakes the three, drives inside, floats a high arcing two. And Benite once again gets himself on the scoreboard, and it's a fight between him and Earl Clark for the game's high scorer. They're both, sorry, Benite, yeah, they're both on 18 now. Six minutes to play, 15-point lead for Burgos. Clark open for three, and he hits it. Must have heard what I said. Clark, the first player, into 20 points now. He's up to 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Vesturia out to DeLeo. Oh, and that sums up Vechta. DeLeo's basket, sorry, shot was almost all the way through the basket, but it managed to squirt its way back out again. Thankfully for them, I think it was Herkenhoff who was there to put it back in. Five seconds left on the shot clock. Benite fakes the three. Lima will have to shoot the three. A little bit flat, as much as the crowd were willing that one to drop. Wainwright, good ball movement. Vesturia makes the cut. The pass is difficult to hold on to, and Lima dives on the hardwood like a man possessed to get the ball. 16-point lead for Burgos, and the crowd are starting to get their party started. Is it too early, though? Oh, maybe it isn't. Salvo drains the three. Wainwright looking for options in front of him. Gets it to Vesturia for three. He's short. Rebound falls to Wainwright. He puts the three up. He's short as well. Lima with another rebound. That's his 10th rebound of the game. Augusto Lima. 8-second violation on Bassas, I think. DeLeo looks to be exhausted right now. What a three from Salvo in that last possession for Burgos. And this is the key for Burgos, why they've been so successful this season. It really is. The way they play team basketball is phenomenal. And look at that, Lima just giving up his body. Here's the pass from Lima. A one-touch pass, really just catches it and still in the air when he passes it across to Salvo. 4 minutes to play, 19-point lead on the night for Burgos. Obviously, they have a 6-point cushion as well with regards to making it to the playoffs. Young inside to Raffington. Easy two for him. Benite now to Clark for three. Salvo with the rebound, but it's stolen away. Young out at the races and an easy finger roll off the glass. Vechta need plenty more of those in the final 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this one if they're going to fight their way back into contention. It's hard to see that happening now. 15 steals, though, for Vechta tonight. That's a great defensive performance from them. Shot clock at 8. Benite for three. Raffington with another rebound. That's his 4th rebound of the evening, along with just 2 points. Foul called on Benite. Only the 2nd team foul of the quarter for Burgos, though. And Coach Calles must know that European glory will have to wait for another season. It feels that way. Benite will head to the bench. That was his 2nd foul. What a job he has done this evening. Davis is back on the floor, so that's a relief for Vechta fans. Young puts it up, it's knocked away. Lima grabs the rebound, hands it off to Barrera. To Fittipaldo for three. In and out for him. Not sure that was the smartest play by Fittipaldo. It really is time management now for Burgos. Rejected by Clark though. Raffington a little bit lazy with the finish. Went up soft and Clark just threw it back. Fine, Burgos now. You want to run the clock down. I'm sure Fittipaldo's had that message from Coach Peñarroya. Pass inside to Lima, and one for the big man as he goes to the front row and gets the high fives. Plays the game with a beautiful spirit, Augusto Lima, a smile on his face. A wonderful player to have in your roster as we see the block from Clark, and then the pick and roll executed to perfection by Burgos. And the fans are really enjoying things tonight. And Lima hits the free throw. And he'll head to the bench as well. 9 points, 10 rebounds. Receives the ovation from the fans. They certainly love him here. Young now tries to skip it to Davis and does. Barrera's all over him, but he puts the shot up. Apic with another rebound. Just his second of the evening, though. Fittipaldo for three is no good. Sorry, was it Barrera? Yeah, Barrera for three. And Davis slows things down. Final 90 seconds. And Burgos have executed their game plan to perfection here this evening. Oh, and there's the finish. Reichel drives the baseline, draws the contact and finishes with strength. Hands himself a trip to the free throw line as well. Goes up strong, draws the foul off Apic. Connects with the extra one as well. 15-point lead for Burgos, and Apic picks up his fourth foul, but they won't care about that. The party is starting in the stands here in the arena. They know what this win means this evening. It means that they have made it to the postseason. They are going to be in the Basketball Champions League playoffs. They'll have to wait to see how the draw favors them. Rivero hits the three and celebrates, and you see the roll of the eyes from Coach Calles. He knows that things have just not gone their way this evening, and they have been outplayed by a very impressive San Pablo Burgos. Reichel now. Another score for him. 5 quick points for Jarrell Reichel. Fittipaldo. Out to Salvo. He misses the three. Young brings down the rebound. And just 17 seconds remaining in what's been a wonderful game here this evening. Burgos really stamping their authority on this and sending out a bit of a statement to the rest of the Basketball Champions League. I don't think there's any team that would look forward to coming here to play Burgos. But what a game. Burgos are through to the Basketball Champions League playoffs, and they've done it in style here. Wonderful game, wonderful performance by the Spanish team. Burgos 87, Rasta Vechta 71. Wonderful performance from the Spanish team. Coach Peñarroya, I'm sure, will be giving his team some credit as well. It's likely that's going to see them finish third in the group. To move up to second, they would need Ike to lose the game that they're playing at the moment. against Wrocław. They're winning that one quite healthily. They're up by 13 with under 2.5 minutes to play, so it looks like Burgos will finish third in Group B. Here in the Basketball Champions League, they'll move forward. They'll take on one of the teams from the other groups who finish second. Still to be seen who that will be. There'll be a draw to see who they face, but the crowd here have been wonderful all evening. They certainly are a sixth man for the team here. And you see the respect that the players pay the fans. And they're in it together, and that's a big, big help. So this could be potentially, here's your game stats in fact, wonderful shooting from outside from Burgos, 39, wonderful display on the boards as well, 45 to 32. Look at the assist ratio for Burgos though, 24 assists in the game. They won't be happy that they let Vechta steal the ball 15 times, but they're going to enjoy themselves here this evening, rightfully so. It's been a long regular season, 14 games for Burgos. They've won 8, lost 6. Here are your top scorers. Clark with 21, Benite 18, Barrera 10. That's for Burgos. For Vechta, Davis and Wainwright on 14, and Simpson with 11. Wonderful performances, and Burgos, so much talent in their roster. When they go to the second unit, as you would say, there's still a ton of talent. And no wonder they're coming away with wins. And before we were showing those stats graphics, the point I was going to raise was obviously they are likely to finish third in this group. One of their potential ties in the next round, believe it or not, what a tie this would be, could be Tenerife. They finished second in Group C, or maybe Dijon, who finished second in Group D. Group A, obviously still to be confirmed which way that one's going to go, but it's going to be either Turk Telekom, Dinamo Sassari, Tenerife or Dijon that Burgos will face in the round of 16 within the Basketball Champions League playoffs. What a wonderful game we've had here this evening though. As expected, the first quarter unbelievably close, tied at the end of 10 minutes. Burgos just upped the defensive intensity in that second quarter, holding Vechta to just 12 points, extending a lead to 12 at the halftime break. Vechta struggled at the start of the third quarter, but battled their way back in, reducing Burgos' lead to just 8 with 10 minutes to play. But a confident, veteran, smart Burgos performance in a final 10 minutes. Once again, defense winning through. They held Vechta to just 14 points in the final 10 minutes. They win this one by a healthy 16-point margin. Huge amount of credit goes to Earl Clark, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 blocks for the big man. That is a big night of basketball for him. Vitor Benite also with a big one, 18 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, a steal and a block for him. And then also in double digits was Alex Barrera, 10 points for him. For Vechta though, their scoring was led by Jordan Davis and Wainwright, both on 14 points. Davis had 3 rebounds, but Wainwright with a double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds for him. 2 other players in double digits, Josh Young with 10 points and Travis Simpson with 11. For Vechta, that's the end of their Basketball Champions League road. Here are your Group B standings. As you can see, Vechta are going to finish 4th. It looks like Ike will probably finish 2nd in the group, pushing Burgos down to 3rd. But what a wonderful game we've had here this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the end of the regular season for the Basketball Champions League. And San Pablo Burgos have won this one 87-71 over Rasta Vechta. Thank you for joining me, and join me soon for the playoffs.